Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. Hello, Nathan.
How's it going?
It's going well. Thanks for the talk that we will have. That's really appreciated, sir.
No problem. How do I pronounce your name? Sorry.
It's all good. It's Gonçalo.
Gonzalo?
Gonçalo, yes.
Gonzalo.
Yeah,
Got
thank
it.
you very much. That's a very one rap, one kill. That worked well.
Yeah, I'm Natan.
Should I say Nathan? Okay, that's good, Nathan.
Thank you. I like Nathan too, but the name is Nathan.
Okay, Nathan. That's good to know because I was researching a bit on you, and unfortunately, when you write now the names, Google tries to change it to the most common name. So Nathan is
Yes.
so that
Yeah.
that was something that I
Sometimes
was
Google autocorrects me.
exactly. Nathan, I'm going to be very, as always, as a martial artist as well. I'm going to be honest with you and direct. This is my second podcast. I dedicated my first podcast to the life or for a part of the history of Emil Lichtenfeld, that is the one of the, let's say, the founder of Krav Maga, and I've been researching on people that have this connection between Israel and the U.S. And how do they do in the martial arts life, and your name came up. That's that's why. And also, you made I think a link or a yes to one of my videos on Krav Maga, and I said, okay, why? Let me reach out to him. He's a young star. He's trying to get things done, and I have an introduction in here. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I've got uh, um, Nathan Natan Levy. I hope it's correct.
Levy. Yeah.
Okay, Natan Levy. You were born in September 13 in Paris.
Yeah, correct.
Paris, and then you moved, and then you were raised in Israel.
Correct.
Currently, you are 5'9" or 177 in meters, and I see something very curious in here that you usually are around the 75 kilograms, but you compete in the under 66. Is this
Yes, correct.
so? I remember this because I used to compete on the minus 75, but I always had like 7 kilos more, and it's taking the weight off. It's a real it's a science.
Yes. The
But you
hardest part.
compete. You compete on the 66 still under the 66,
Yes, still.
and you are affiliated with the Syndicate MMA. I believe that's
Correct.
correct because the shirt is
Yeah.
very clear. You are an undefeated MMA fighter, and I really appreciate the fact that you say I'm for Neil. The reason why the password in the meeting was 10-0, it's because this is why I think what you'll get 10-0. An undefeated MMA fighter. Are you 4-0 or 5-0?
4-0 amateur and 4-0 pro.
Okay. So you live in Las Vegas. You are married, and you like to travel the world. You are also a karate black belt, third degree in Wishy-Ryu. That I know it's pretty
Yes.
tough. I had a couple of friends that practice Wishy-Ryu, and strong stuff. Strong. Not. It's really. You are also a Kung Fu black belt, a certified karate instructor from the Issuing Authority of the Wingate Sports Institute. And an impressive next step is you ranked first place in the Gracie's Worlds in 2014, third place in the Israel National Jiu-Jitsu Championship, and the first place in the ADCC Israel Submission Grappling Championship. And you have a sentence that I really enjoy and I think inspires people. My goal is to be a world champion. So, Natan Levy, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'd like to start with a set of things, Nathan, and we'll see how this goes along. That you lived in Israel, and we have this idea, at least this idea from Krav Maga, that came into me. That is, things in there are pretty tough in terms of self-defense, combat. Is this true? Do people fight a lot of times? Or how is it the life over there in Israel?
I think every place has like its dangers. In Israel, yes, there is terrorism, but here in the U.S., there's a lot of people with guns, with knives. Anybody can be crazy. So in Israel, they can attack you with some reason, and here with no reason. So, everywhere is dangerous. And I think you should be ready everywhere you go. Brazil, beautiful country, people get attacked there. Israel, people get attacked there because they're Jewish. Yes, one is more wrong maybe, but the real thing is just be ready always wherever you are. Yeah, it could be tough in Israel, but it's also at some points, if we brought like masters from Japan or guests from the US, for training, and they're like, oh wow, I thought I was gonna land into a war zone, and we're at the beach having fun, it's all good. And it's, yeah, 100%, but still you should always be careful that something could happen. Most of the time nothing happens, it's calm. Maybe something's happening at the front lines, but in the city you won't feel a thing unless there's a terrorist attack. And you should always be ready, and especially in times where it's more, heated, the conflict. So if you're on the bus and you're sitting somewhere, maybe don't put the headphones on, be more cautious of your surroundings. Take a look before you get into the bus. Don't sit in the bus station or in the street on a bench and have your face glued to your phone, because something could happen.
Okay.
You can look at your phone. You don't have to be on 200% alert, but stay alert.
Okay, that's interesting to see and you were there since 3 years old until 4 years ago, 3 years ago, or how was it?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I still consider it home. I'm here right now for fighting, but Israel is always my home.
Okay, so I want to catch you on that one, because I think but I want to move back one more. You've talked in some of your interviews between you do MMA because it's the thing that you believe it's more near to a real fight. But on the other hand, I saw some interviews of you that you said that, oh, but when I practiced Ryu, my combats in there, my training was also very real. Do you see, my question is this, combat, MMA, self-defense, where do you see the largest differences?
I think like about the karate, it was very real. It was very, I'd say, if you want to learn to swim, you got to jump in the water. So if you want to learn to fight, you have to fight. You can't just drills. Drills are great. They're a step towards sparring. At first you learn, techniques on the air, on the heavy bag, perfect. No, nothing bad to say about it. It's a completely natural step. But at some point you got to reach sparring. If you only do as if, let's imagine that this happens, that happens, and you do the drills, it's okay, it's a step, but then you got to do something with resistance. So MMA and Krav Maga, for example, I think they're very similar because both have the same goal. You need to win, you need to survive, And in MMA, you can't kick, groin, or gouge the eyes, so you need to win within those rules.
Okay.
In a street fight, you need to win within those rules, which are no rules.
Yes.
So both need to find the most practical and true to life way to win in an altercation against somebody who's really resisting you or going as far as trying to kill you.
And Nathan, have you ever been confronted in your life in a situation where you had either to use your technique or your awareness that something is not going well and you had to intervene?
Yes, when I was younger, 17, 18, couple times. But I think if you know to defend yourself, it's already limits the need to defend yourself by, tenfold at least.
Okay.
Because usually people who are looking for a fight, even not talking about terrorism or anything like that, just people, somebody who's drunk, somebody who's, looking for trouble. They're bullies, and bullies are looking for easy targets. They're looking for somebody they can beat up. A bully isn't looking for the strongest guy to fight, because that's not a bully. Then that's somebody who's trying to challenge himself in a manner that's maybe better to do in the gym than on the street, but he's got some guts. But if it's just a bully, he's going to look for the weak. And when you look strong, when you feel strong, when you walk tall, then you're probably not going to get messed around with. They're probably going to look for an easier target.
Very curious, because I haven't met Imi, the founder of Krav Maga, died many years ago. But one thing that he said, it was that Krav Maga enables the self-worth, and it's the ability to talk and act when it's needed. And I think it goes back to your point, if you stand tall, if you do your work, and you should be able to stop at least that threat. So it's really good.
Exactly.
And so at a certain moment in time, you were a regular person. Well, at least you were teaching in a gym, you were teaching as a karate instructor, and helping other kids in need as well. I saw that in your path. If a regular person wants to train self-defense, karate, anything, what do you think it's a recommendation from your side for a regular person? You are a competitor now. You are in a different ballgame.
Yeah.
But for a regular person, a parent, a mom, a wife, a regular person, what would you recommend that they would do to enhance, to start this fighting or this ability to move on?
I tell them to get to training. Maybe the style is not that important, I feel. Okay. I think the teacher sometimes is his own style. One teacher of Krav Maga is very different from another teacher. Absolutely. Same in karate, same in MMA. So many times teachers are styles. And okay. I'd say find the right teacher. Yes, the Krav Maga, if you're really focused into self-defense, or boxing, if you think of maybe one day competing, but you can do boxing for fun as well. You can do everything for fun and for self-defense. Some styles I maybe wouldn't recommend, because like I said, if your goal is practical and for self-defense mainly, you need to find a style that is focused on this. So everything goes the best way to win a street fight or an MMA fight or a boxing fight. And on those rules, you need to know how to act and when to do the right thing. So, for example, some styles value tradition over, the take what is useful and throw what is not useful. Mm-hmm. So they might have a lot of great techniques, but they might also have a lot of traditional techniques that wouldn't work today or maybe never work, but it's a part of the tradition. So again, that's great. And I love, myself, I love Japanese culture, and I did plenty of kata in my life, and I'll still do one on the beach and enjoy it and the movement, and it's great for movement, it's great for flexibility, it's great for body and mind control, but it might not be the greatest for when you're getting attacked,
Okay, that's very interesting. And Natan, you've made the transition very successful from, I'm going to say, a striker into being able to suddenly, and this is very interesting in your bouts. You are kind of, I'm going to say, under commas, considered a striker, and you win people by submissions. That's like, how was your transition? Because it's fundamentally a striker. Probably this world sees it as one thing, but you've made a very successful transition into BJJ. And how did you do that? And what do you think it was more relevant for you?
First of all, when I came to Vegas at first and I only had karate, not only I needed to learn like striking again, because the striking in karate was different, and we didn't punch the face.
Point strike, correct? That's yeah.
Yeah, it was more like full contact, but still no face punching. Range is different. You know, if you're not getting taken down, then you can stand in front of your opponent and really just block. But when you're blocking up top, they can take your legs. So you need to
Yeah.
learn to move better and many things. So I had to do this, and on top, I also needed to learn ground game from zero.
Wow.
And yeah, my coach here told me, you know, he told me what you're doing with me is important, the striking coach, but he said jujitsu is way more important. I need you to do it all the time. So I was training at least twice a day jujitsu, morning and night, and in between I would do the MMA training, boxing training, you know, running, everything I needed, but still, no matter what, twice a day jujitsu. And I did that. You know, I used to go back and forth to Vegas, but every time I was in Vegas, I would do that the whole
Okay.
time until I reached like 3 years of doing it. And also, I think I got more of like natural talent in it than in striking.
Oh, okay. Okay. Did you walk through becoming a wrestler as well, or working with wrestling people? Because at a certain
Yeah,
point, okay, okay, okay. That
yeah. You know, I do wrestling here, but the main focus was jujitsu. You know, I didn't want to take people down. I wanted to know what to do if I'm on my back and how to submit. And also, of course, at some point, get up, be able to take somebody down, be able to defend the takedown. But wrestling is harder, I think, even than jiu-jitsu. So at first it was jiu-jitsu, know the ground, and then, okay, now that I know some ground, I might have a reason to take someone down. So it's time to wrestle, take down and
okay,
prevent
okay.
takedowns.
So let me see if I understand the process. You are a good striker, obviously. I've seen you in one of your fights against one of them. You had a huge wingspan, but you handled kicks and you could kick well. And then you moved into understanding the ground, and now you are back into the transition between the top and the ground. Is this
Correct.
similar? Okay.
Yes.
And looking into these three components, at least three, how does your day look like? I see some of your really cool videos you were working on all the not wrestling, Russian wrestling and Russian techniques of body weight conditioning and grappling. How does your schedule looks like now? Because we are all isolated, so I guess you have other. How does your routine looks like?
Yes, you know, usually I would train 3 times a day and try and mix both grappling, striking, wrestling. You know, get some of everything every day.
Okay.
Sparring, of course, strength and conditioning. But right now, you know, all the gyms are closed, and it's kind of tough. Luckily, I have a couple of friends of mine who are big time wrestlers from Israel. They're each, you
Okay.
know, 10 times national champion, you know, and very good wrestlers. And they came here. And my friend wants to become an MMA fighter. And alongside a couple more friends from the team, we're training everybody. We're training each other. So I teach the striking. Then my friend who wrestles teach the wrestling and all the crazy, you know, body weight
I
stuff.
saw them, the pile driver around the body.
Yeah, lifting each
Wow.
other, throwing each other, getting stronger. And another friend goes over more regular like weight strength and conditioning, more cardio stuff, holding pads for each other. So we're just trying to make each other better.
And do you guys follow a specific plan over time, or you are just getting along with that? Because I don't even know when is your next fight. I don't know if anyone knows, but you might know.
Yeah, no one knows.
So do you follow a plan, or do you go to the session and let's do takedown, let's do double leg takedowns, or do you have an idea how do you, because you gave out classes many years, you know that it's
Yeah,
important to follow some kind of planning, at least sometimes. But how do you handle all of these? It's a lot of variation, isn't it? Three teachers teaching different things every day. How do you
yes.
organize? How do you guys organize these?
You know, I do the organizing for the striking mostly,
Okay.
and I take it baby steps. You know, I always think no matter how athletic you are and how much you can understand fast, I'm going to teach you like you're a 5-year-old, step by step, and then you have good fundamentals. And when we proceed, we won't have like a problem coming to bite us, you know? We're always climbing forward. So I would start with just the hands right now. They're barely kicking. If they're kicking, they only do it just kicks, not mixed with punches, not to confuse them at this point. Yesterday we started even sparring a little bit boxing, hands only. Very light, you know, touching. No, I don't want them to, because you know they're wrestlers. They never got hit in the face, punched in the face. They are very good athletes, very tough, but one wrong punch and it can traumatize them, make them afraid of being punched, and then they will overreact to anything. So I want them to feel that when they get punched, it's not a big deal. You know, it doesn't hurt that much. And then they are more calm and can slip the punches, block, and be more relaxed all the time.
Okay.
Later we will start mixing punches and kicks. And they have a problem. Right now we're doing very basic wrestling moves, but that require like a lot of back strength, a lot of leg strength, and we just do them over and over until they are perfect, and then we'll go forward.
So it looks like you guys are working the fundamentals, the three of you.
Yeah.
You are working from the fundamentals up, and it's not because what I've seen in some in some of these is there is this thought that fighters work only advanced techniques, and from what you're saying, no, I'm working the fundamentals first to make sure that the fundamentals are there.
Yeah, you know, advanced techniques. It's a little taboo. It's always like, oh, you should work the fundamentals. No, advanced techniques is also good. You know, both are good.
Okay.
But right now, I don't have my coach with me. My coach teaches me. We always do fundamentals, but then we get to more advanced stuff, and wow, things that will blow your mind, you know. And then you do them in a fight. People don't even know what you did, how you set it up. They think, oh, he just threw a hook and it landed. No, we were cooking it, you know, for the whole fight, building a pattern and then breaking it, and then the strike that you wanted landed, you know. So
Yeah.
it's also good, but right now, since we don't have the coaches, I think working back on the fundamentals, you know, for me, like right now, nobody's teaching me the things that I learned in Japan or before in karate or, you know, even boxing in Israel. So there are a lot of techniques that I learned and moved forward. Oh, now it's a good time to go back to them. You know, some techniques nobody else can show me but myself to me.
Okay, and I see that you play a lot of emphasis on the physical conditioning, and I've read something that you said, and that is at the end of the day, if both competitors are even in terms of technique, the one that is able to outspoken the other person in terms of physical conditioning will be the one that wins the match. And you are always, at least, you know, have a very strong physique, but how strong can you recommend that to a regular person? Not only for the MMA fighter, but also for the regular person. How do you recommend that? Should they work on technique only? Should they also work on conditioning, or is there a mix that you see it's best?
You know, I do strength and conditioning, but I don't think it's a main part of my training. I think it's more of an add-on.
Okay.
Right now, because we train only once a day at the park, and we're there for like 3 hours, 4 hours. We just run. We do the boxing, we do the wrestling, we do the conditioning. So we're not in a hurry nowhere. So we're done, and we're like, you know, the hell, let's do some push-ups. Let's do carry each other. You know, let's get stronger. But I don't see it as a main part of training. I think the most important thing is technique, but technique's got to be backed up by strength. If I'm building a move, like I said, I'm building a pattern to land that big hook, and then it barely hurts you, I didn't really do much. You know, so when I do strike, when I do throw hard, I want it to be hard. weightlifting, I think there's a, there's a power that's beneficial for you to fight, and then there's like strength that is, I'm not gonna say it's gonna hurt, but with diminishing returns, I don't see it like being able to deadlift, 400 pounds. If your opponent is 155 pounds, I think you should be able to lift him a little more, and that's it. Yeah, most important is technique. If you have a fight, first thing is skill. If I'm way better than my opponent, I'm way better than him. I'm gonna beat him easily. If we're kind of similar on the same level, maybe not exactly the same, but pretty close, who's gonna get tired first? Who's stronger? Whose strikes that land do more damage? That's definitely a factor. When this is equal and the technique is equal, then it goes to heart. Who wants it more? Who has more drive? Who's ready to die to get the win? And is not going to give up. And it's not easy, but if you're fighting somebody who's very tough, oh, I'm not going to be tougher than him, oh, then I got to be more technical. So first of all, technique is the most important.
Okay. Really important. It also provides a good understanding when anyone that listens to this starts planning their skills. I have a question in here as is the following. If in all of your training gear, and I believe you've got a lot of stuff, I saw one of your ads saying, hey, I need to buy some plates and things. What is under the $100 mark, what is the training thing that you see more impacted your training? Whatever, is it a gadget? What thing more impacted your training under the $100?
Good question. I think, it's basic, but puffy MMA gloves, I think it's very important. Like MMA gloves, like finger gloves, but big, puffy.
Yes,
and that's really the only way to spar for MMA. Because back in the day, people used to spar with either boxing gloves on, and then you can grapple, or with very small MMA fighting gloves, and you can grapple, but you can't really throw a punch in your friend's face like this. There's barely anything on it. It's only to protect the knuckles, So puffy MMA gloves are very good. Yeah, maybe also running headphones.
Okay.
And,
is there any particular recommendation that you would give in terms of running headphones? So we've got the puff MMA. I understand that because in Krav Maga, we've got two different schools of thought. One that, like the one that I'm working with, we use full boxing gloves so that we can deliver the full-blown strike. And the second one that says, okay, what if you need to grapple? So this is what we've done. The laces in the glove?
Yes.
We've taken out the laces and we have Velcro so that when you punch, you are able to take away the glove. And I know, so this is like, it's bending the rules because let's say the organization master said, no, we need to grapple with those big gloves. And I understand why, it protects both. But if you want to grapple from the moment you punch, you cannot take away the glove. So,
yes.
So we are in the middle of that transition. Should we only do complete contact with big gloves, or sometimes use the other one? So it's interesting listening from that side. So
yeah, and it's clumsy to wrestle with the big boxing gloves, and then you can at least strike. So yeah, no problem. Take it out. Imagine it's his head. You bite, and then
that's the idea. And you're talking about the headphones. Which ones do you recommend? If you jog, and do you recommend any particular ones? I know everyone likes the specific model.
I like Apple. They're good, but they're over $100. Let me give you something, the best. Now I think about it. It costs maybe $10 on Amazon.
Okay.
It changed your life. Okay. It's a mount for the phone. you know, like I have it in my car, but it's a mount, you know, it grab the phone like for a tripod, and
Okay.
it has three legs. You put it down, and like this, I put every session I do, every time I train with my coach, I put the phone like this, and it's attached to the ring, and it's filmed for 1 hour, the whole training session. Then I can go home, watch everything. Sparring, boom, always film everything. I have here, I pay also $10 a month. I have 2 terabytes from iCloud, for real. So I have, you know, 200 hours of training on my phone, 800 hours more on my computer. I can watch all the training all the time, analyze it, look what I do good, what I don't do good. This really is like the biggest thing for my training. I train, yeah, that's great, good job. But then, you know, you forget some of the things your coach tells you. You think you look great, but you look like shit.
Oh yeah.
So you can see it after and, you know, and correct yourself.
Natan, I fully understand that. I can tell you from my side, I think I was making the jab right, and then my hand was over here. I was like, well, how is it possible that I've been practicing to raise the hand,
Yes,
but
exactly.
only the video shows you that, because your head thinks that, oh yeah, it's okay, but then and
My coach says the film doesn't lie.
okay, that's very interesting. So I'm gonna segue into something completely different. You train 3 hours a day, or 4 or 5. I know that you are married, and I saw that on LinkedIn. I believe your wife was your student. Is this correct or not?
Yeah, correct. But when we became together, she trained with my teacher. So we trained together.
Oh, okay. So you were like the oldest teacher in the oldest student in the class.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Very interesting. So you have this 3, 4, 5 hours training, hours of analysis, hours of things. How do you manage? Do you already have kids, or you don't have kids yet?
No, not yet. I
So
want
how do
to
you
first
manage?
go ahead.
No, I was asking, how do you manage training, analyzing training, and life at home? Because there are more things beyond training, I think. But how do you manage all of these?
You know, me, it's my profession. For me, training, it's
Okay,
like going to the office, you
okay.
know. So we're here in Vegas. We live here, so I can make it, you know. And if I'll be less training, more home, my wife will get mad at me and tell me I'm lazy.
Now, one question that I've got in here: how did you decided to live your life in more of the decision process in your head? You were in Israel. From what I've seen, your school looked good. You know, you had students, things were going well.
Hmm.
I believe you're not satisfied with the competition side, or that's what I've seen. How did you decide to Las Vegas? Here I go. How do you do that and
Yeah.
say goodbye? How do you do? How was it? How was that?
It wasn't easy because you know I had a lot of students. I was very close with them. I didn't want to leave them. I did find the a suitable replacement for them, but it wasn't easy. But I knew I was 22. I was I think 21 when I
Yeah.
took the decision, and I said it's now or never. You know, I love training people, but I can train people until I'm 80 or or anything. Now is the only time that I can compete, and I don't want to compete in karate. I want to compete in MMA, um, because like I said before, it's the realest thing. You know, ground striking, face punches, face kicks. There are very few things you're not allowed to do,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's good that you're not allowed because we don't want to be killing each other.
Yes,
And we
exactly.
want to be
The,
athletes at the end of the day.
the
So I
box would be
think,
smaller. Yes.
yeah. So I think Point fighting is not for me.
Okay.
And full contact karate is, I like it more, but also, you know, it's great. It's both are amazing, but I feel like I want to do the real thing. And if I'm striking somebody and he wants to take me down, there shouldn't be a ref that says no.
Stop.
You know, every fight is always trying to turn into an MMA fight, and people are trying to stop it.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I do a karate, someone falls, somebody want to hit him. No, stop. This is only natural, you know, like somebody fall, hit him. Somebody's on the ground, kick up to the face. It's only natural. It's the fight, every fight, taekwondo, karate, everything, always want to turn into MMA fight until people stop it. Don't stop it.
But how did you decided to get out of Israel? Because I understand it was hard. Most of all, and I've worked in 5 countries around the world, and always changing countries. It's a hard thing, finding a job, finding things. How was it, your decision process, and getting to Las Vegas? You are the new kid on the block. How was that? How was that life? How is that life? Because you live there now as well.
Yeah, but now I'm not the new kid anymore.
You are no longer the new kid, yes. So it's more about that. It's the transition. How did you decide that big step? And would you recommend that to someone? Under what conditions would you recommend that to someone that wants to do a career in anime?
And so, like when I did karate, I flew to Japan because I knew this is the birthplace of karate. If you want to be very good, go learn there. Same with MMA. You know, a lot of people told me like, "Oh, don't go to Las Vegas. First become champion in Israel, and then go to Las Vegas." They told me, "Oh, you don't know any ground. You're crazy. First learn jiu-jitsu here. 5, 6 years, get the brown belt at least, then fly to Vegas." If I would have listened, I would have still been in Israel right now. Never listen to people. At least that's how I do it.
Okay.
It's not easy, but I told myself, you know, yeah, I can train and fight in Israel and become Israel champion. You know, there is no such thing because people don't want to fight each other and stuff like that. But it's a small country. But then you have to learn MMA in Israel. And obviously, learning MMA in America is better. So why not learn from the best and compete with the best instead of learning from okay and competing with okay, you know? And even if you become the champion in Israel, it doesn't mean anything really. If you become a pretty good fighter in the US, it means a lot.
Absolutely. I fully understand.
I wouldn't
that.
recommend it. A lot of people ask me on Instagram and stuff like that. Hey Natan, you know, I'm 17, I'm 21, and I'm thinking of being an MMA fighter. You know, what do you think? Do you think I should do it? No, don't do it.
Wow,
If you need to ask me what I think for you to do it, maybe you don't want it enough. Maybe, you know, me, I didn't ask anybody. I did it, you know. Even my first karate teacher told me, Nathan, I told him I want to still do karate, but I want to go do MMA also. I don't want to quit karate. He said it's one or the other. You have to choose.
Oh,
I told him, okay, sorry, sensei, but I choose MMA. You know.
Oh. Okay.
And after this, we make peace, you know. But it was for me, it was devastating to say this. You know, karate was my life, but I knew what I wanted, and I knew I could only do it now. And if you need to ask permission, or if you're gonna wait for something, it's never gonna happen, and you shouldn't do it. And it's also a very dangerous sport. If you're not 100% sure you want to do it, yeah, maybe it's better to just train MMA for fun. Maybe do, you know, one amateur fight just to say, oh, I did a fight.
Okay.
In Israel, you don't need to live Israel, or you don't need to live wherever you live. You don't need to go to the US. You just one fight for fun. Okay, but if it's burning inside you and you can't think of anything else, and you go to sleep, you think about it, you wake up, you think about it, you know, that's all you want in life, yeah, go do it. And don't wait to be the best in your gym. Don't wait to be a brown belt or black belt or anything. Don't wait to be champion first in your city, then in your country. You can do it, no problem, but you can also go fly out to the other side of the world. You know, I came here. Hello, yes, I want to fight. I'm from Israel. My name is Natan. I'm here to become a fighter. Oh, you want to become a fighter? Yes. What do you know? Karate only, you know?
Let me pick you up on that one. So, did you actually go to the door of the Cindy? I don't know how this happened, but I understand your approach. It's like, hey, I'm here. My heart is here. My person is here. I want to fight. Is this how it worked, Nathan?
Yes.
You went to the syndicate and say, hello.
Yeah, I went to my striking coach, Jimmy Giff.
Okay.
He trained a few UFC champions, and I was very, very lucky. And I got a meeting with him. And yeah, I came, and he said, you know, what are you here for? And I said, oh, I want to become a world champion. You know, what did you do? What's your background? I trained 8 years karate, 10 years karate, I don't remember. And they said, okay, show me your fight stance. You know, like sideways on the head. And, you know, then he okay, nod and tell me, okay, start working on the heavy bag. But now, you know, when he says the story, when he tells the story, he says he told me to get into my fight stance, and he was like, oh fuck, oh no, what did I do?
Okay, so I'm saying this because my guard in the competition in karate was, well, it was in here, you know, the hand ready for the Gyakuzuki and all of that. And then I had to transition to Krav Maga. It's man, my head was open, and so I imagine yours. And so I understand that. Let me go back to one of the questions because I was digressing. So one of the, can you tell me one bad recommendation that people tell in your area of expertise, things that people should not listen to? You have if someone tells you these and you want to become an MMA fighter or a good fighter, do not listen to these. Do you have a list of those things?
Not a list, but yeah, you know, like even my own thoughts. I have my friend, Daniel, his name. We trained together for years. He kicked my ass. One head shorter than me, small, strong. He kicked my ass. Sometimes I give him a good fight. Sometimes maybe I almost beat him, but at the end he always kicked my ass. So, and I think to myself, you know, in Israel, I say, damn, I can't even beat Daniel. How am I going to go and beat the professional MMA fighters? But it's not true. You know, I realized that it's not true because, first of all, if I go out and train another place, maybe I'll get different tools.
Okay.
And also, maybe I can be, you know, second place world champion and he can be first place world champion. It's not worth it, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe I will go to Las Vegas and I won't fight Daniel, I'll fight somebody else and I can beat them. You know, maybe Daniel is like my big brother, so I'm a little scared of him. Maybe someone I'm not scared of. So you can't wait to be the number one in your gym. You know, it's good to be number one in the gym, but also it means maybe you're at the wrong gym. You should always have some people that you can beat, some people that can beat you. That's how you get better. The moment you can beat everybody up, you're not getting better. And you know, to this day, I flew to Las Vegas to become an MMA fighter. Daniel flew to New York to become an actor. Now he's here in Los Angeles as an actor. And every fight I have is in my corner with my coaches. And he tells me in Hebrew, you know, you can do it, go do this, do that. And he helped me win fights. and for now we're still undefeated. So the fact that I couldn't beat him, it doesn't mean anything in the real world.
Absolutely understood. In this path of your 5 years, have you acquired any specific habit that really improved your life? Like if you had say, this is the thing that in the last 5 years changed my life, and that you could recommend to others or to think.
I think maybe lately I'm still training yet 3 times a day. It's a lot, but I'm also very focused on recovery.
Okay.
So massage, deep tissue massage, therapy gun, EMS, ice bath, warm bath with Epsom salt in it.
Yeah.
Doing flexibility, doing stretching. So it's helping me. It's helping me a lot.
Natan, are you doing any of the calisthenic things? Is the readiness state coach? I can share these in the links.
The ones with all the pull-ups, body weight, all this stuff?
No, the ones that he has specific workouts for each one of the modalities. And it's all about rollers and lacrosse balls and a lot of deep tissue mobilization. His name is Calistarat. I can share with you because
Please send me.
I'll send you that. And I wanted also to touch base on. So you're working more on the recovery. You are starting to feel that this is it became more important.
I'm starting to get hurt too often. Getting injured too often. Small things, but I can't train a week. Now I had the inflammation in my lower back. I couldn't train 6 weeks. The doctor said I have to, and I never in my life not trained for 6 weeks. And he said, "Oh, you have to train 6 weeks because if not, the inflammation is not going to go away. It's going to come back." So I said, I got married last year, and that was a few months ago. But I said, okay, good. We finally got time for a honeymoon. So we went on a honeymoon because I couldn't train. And and coming back from it, I strengthened my back with someone who does like a neuromuscular therapy. His name is Kumar in Las Vegas. Okay. And he took really good care of my back. He taught me a lot about rehab. And really, I had back pain for like a few years. And ever since I worked with him and he showed me all this stuff, my back is great. I could only get it so strong because when I would do deadlift or squats or anything, if I would do just a little bit too much, I wouldn't be able to move, So I would always be very careful, and then I wouldn't be like getting a lot stronger in my back.
Okay.
Now I feel I can see the videos. I lift people, throw them, no problem. Like my back is stronger than ever.
Yeah, I saw you. It feels like play. That's the part. The cool part in what you are posting right now is that I understand it's hard, but it feels like you guys are also playing and playing in a good way. Some people see play is not good, but you guys are effectively training and playing. This is very interesting. It's like you're having a lot of fun there. Is this correct or not?
Yeah, correct. Because we're training each other. It requires some discipline because I can be, I trained you yesterday, now you're training me. It's maybe not take it seriously.
Oh, okay.
But my friend, he tells me something like he's my coach. Yes, sir. Do whatever he says, Same him with me, same everybody. And, it's mutual respect, and because we understand and appreciate each other's time and skills. But also we're there, a few friends. There is no, big coach. We can have fun, we joke around, lift each other. If someone drops, everybody laugh, If I put my friend on his head by mistake, we just laugh and it's all good. So yeah, it's a good time.
That's very good. And I have something a bit more deep. Let's see if it works. But is there a specific failure, Natan, that that set you up for a success? And if you have a favorite, I'm gonna say failure, that later on became something really good.
Um, you know, I had a lot of small failures. A lot of it also, when I first came to Vegas, I only had like a 3 months visa with my French passport.
Yes. Yeah.
And I met Gif, my coach. I met John, in Syndicate MMA. We got training, but I wasn't ready to fight yet. I was still, very young in my MMA training. Went back to Israel for 6 months, worked, trained people, saved some money, got back, 3 more months. Okay, let's fight this time. But let's fight at the end of the 3 months so I can be as ready as possible. Do one fight, go home. Fight got canceled. Going home without a fight. Stay in Israel for 1 year to save money. Come back to Las Vegas and trying to fight. 9 fights canceled.
Oh, wow.
Go back to Israel. Come back. That was like I think the 4th time I was in Vegas was when I fought, but that took a total of like 2.5 years. So every time I go back to Israel and people are like, why aren't you fighting? You said you were going to fight. Oh, you don't understand. The fights got canceled. This opponent pulled out. He got hurt. This one, his grandma's in coma. I don't know what. Always something happened and I couldn't fight. And it starts sounding like excuses, But eventually it took a long time and it was hard. But 2.5 years it took me to get my first amateur fight. I did 4 amateur fights in 1 year. Broke my hand in the last one. I took a year off to rehab it. And then I've been pro for 2 years and I've had 4 fights, but 2 a year, which also is not a lot. I wish I could fight more, but a lot of opponents cancel. Some people don't want to fight. A lot of issues. But, no matter what, we keep pushing forward.
So how do you think these long periods of wait combined with preparation have been making you a better fighter?
Yes. I know that, when I did end up fighting after 2.5 years, I wasn't ready. I was super ready. I was over ready. I was ready to explode already because I've been waiting for so long and so many times. Like it like stopped the wind from the sails. The boat stopped and I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this, flying back and forth. Not fighting. I don't know if will ever fight. I feel like I will never get in the ring. Like something, God is trying to stop me from getting in there. But it did happen, because I kept going. I could have gave up easily. Giving up is the easiest thing to do. But I didn't.
That's a really important thing. Do not. Even if things got canceled, you kept on pushing. That's really a strong approach.
My coach told me, if it wasn't for bad luck, you'd have no luck.
That's a good one. Natan, I think you have to write that one, and start publishing those. that one would be really, really important. I have something more, a couple of more other things. I see that I've seen in some of the things that you like to see TV, but I want to move away from TV. Well, we can go into TV shows and all of that, but are there some specific books that you like or even, let's say, TV shows, books that you really recommend people to see as to become a better fighter, or things that you say, this is really the thing that I like?
I like the Book of Five Rings.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll put that in the notes. Okay, the Book of.
Yeah, and I have a few more. I don't know how to translate them to English. I read them in Hebrew.
Oh, okay.
But if there's if you want to get a glimpse of, you know, you ever seen the movie Whiplash?
I haven't, but I will. Okay.
So I recommend it because, you know, it's a movie, it's about the music, but it's really the same for everything, martial arts and everything, and kind of like pushing the boundaries of like a teacher or a coach trying to get the best out of you, maybe by you know, ways that are extreme, that are not acceptable in today's society.
Okay.
But I feel like that's some of the training that I got. It was that way. So if you watch Whiplash,
Okay.
know that like I've been through similar stuff.
Nathan, it looks like your mind is going back to that Japanese mentality, that Japanese training there on the back.
Yeah,
Is this true?
yeah.
Because I've I've had 25 years under this a certain teacher, and then I decided to move out. But the teachings are hard, and it comes from yourself at a certain point in time, not from the. So I got Whiplash in there. I got the book of the Five Rings. Is there any other books? And have you do you offer books? Do you offer what kind of things do you offer to people when you want to inspire them or in their career?
Um, yeah, you know, I think practice is the most important thing. You know, more than books or anything. I think you know, they're all great, but really doing is the best form. Practicing is the best form of getting inspired of, you know, I always say you don't need motivation, you need discipline. You know, you don't need to be inspired to do it, just do it. You
Yes.
don't need the motivation Monday. Oh, I'm ready to go. I watched Rocky last night. I want to run and punch. That's great. When you have it, use it. You know, it's like a boost in the car. You know, when you have nitros, okay, use it.
Yeah.
But if you think I wake up at 6 a.m., about to go to the freezing pool to swim with my trainer is a Navy SEAL. If you think I wake up and I'm like, oh yes, no, I want to die. You know, the pool is gonna be freezing. It's winter. I'm gonna freeze on my way to the pool, and then it's gonna be colder. I'm gonna have to hold my breath until I feel like dying, and only then I can come back. But I do it. You know, I don't need motivation. I just do it because I have to do it. I wake up every Saturday to run hills at the park, run up hills with sleds, weights in your hands. You know, it kills your body. You don't want to do it. There's no movie I can watch that's gonna make me want to go there, but I go there because I have to.
Okay. So
I
that's what I
decided I
wanted.
will.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask you is the sentence that got me really inspired to talk more with you is the fact you say I want to be a champion. I want to be the world champion, not a champion, the world champion. And is that the thing that you've got written down in your head? Is it written down somewhere? Is it on inside of you that makes you wake up every day? What influences you to make this? What's that?
You know, I feel like I have no choice. You know, I feel like even if I change my mind, I like a lot of times, like I told you, you know, I'd recommend someone not to do it.
Okay,
So my
yes.
brain says, you know, it's not a good idea. You know, maybe you should do something else. But my heart won't move an inch. You know, so yeah, I always think about it. I want to be a world champion, but I know, you know, it might not happen. I could fail, but still, I'm gonna try and do it. You know, I'm gonna wake up every day and do my best to do it. And if I end up and being number 5 in the world, that would still be amazing. I'm still aiming for number 1 always, but even where I am now, everybody always asks me, when are you going to be in the UFC? You know,
Yeah, I was about.
I'm not worried about it. I'll get there, but I'm very proud with where I am right now. You know, not I'm the first Israeli to fight in the LFA. It's the biggest national promotion in the US. So not including international promotions like UFC Bellator. National, this is the biggest one. It's
Absolutely.
the biggest feeder to the UFC. Almost all the champions in LFA become UFC fighters. You know, so just fighting where I am now, getting where I am now, who would have imagined? You know, when I told people I want to be an MMA fighter, you know, they laughed. They said like, you sure you don't want to compete in karate, this and that. Even my first teacher, you know, the one who told me to choose, when I told him that I want to be an MMA fighter, he told me, listen, you know, I went to Japan, like he's telling me, I went to Japan and I knew it's not going to be easy. I wanted to become a karate master and I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I knew many people can do it. Many people have done it. But what you were trying to do, there's hundreds of thousands of people who want to make it and only a few make it. You know, it's probably not going to happen. And I told him, okay, it might not happen, but I'm still going to try, you know? So where I am now, I'm very proud. If I retire tomorrow, you know, I won't, but if something happened, if I can't fight anymore, if I decide I don't want to fight anymore, I'm very proud to where I've been, you know?
So I think, and you've mentioned this twice, that was a fundamental change in your career, that moment when you were asked karate or MMA, and you decided karate, and you told that to your teacher. That was a
Yeah,
fundamental
yeah.
shift, correct? Well, were there any other fundamental things that happened in your career, or do you say that was the one of the key ones?
You know, that was one of the key ones because that was the big transition. But I also, you know, first of all, I got so lucky to meet like my coach Gif and John at Syndicate. You know, it was Gif introduced me to John, so it was really like destiny. You know, like
Okay.
I don't know how it could have been completely different if I haven't met him. I could have, you know, not have nobody take care of me. I thought I could be ready for to get in the cage. You know, first time, like I told you, I was too young in my MMA career, but that's what my coach told me. I thought, yeah, let's fight, let's go now. I could have jumped in too early, got hurt,
Okay.
lost the fight, lost my confidence, go back to Israel. Oh, I just fought and I lost. Maybe I won't go back. Maybe I'll just stay here and work. A lot of things could happen. So it really happened perfectly the way it did. And you know, my first amateur fight was a huge step. You know, finally doing it, finally seeing that I can do it. I did it like everybody saw me and they said, you know, that I didn't look like somebody that's his first amateur fight.
Yeah,
That's somebody who's a pro, you know.
that was very strange. Sorry, in a good way. But I was watching your fights and I was like, oh, he is handling the distance. He moves in and out, and he's going for the grapple. And he's going for the head, for the leg, for the head. Hey, so many variables happening, and you were kind of organizing yourself to them. I was like, okay, was that what you felt? So if you had went earlier, you would okay. You think the outcome would be a defeat?
I don't know,
Yeah,
but it's more likely. You know, I feel like even in that fight, in my first amateur fight, I wasn't very lucid. I was, you know, it's a fight, you're so excited, like when they tell you, okay, they check you, okay, go in the cage. You're like, oh no.
okay.
You see the stairs,
Yeah.
you feel your legs so heavy, you can't even like, you can barely walk up to the cage, you know, you're so excited, like, and then in the fight, it continues a little bit. You're not sure, am I in punching range and am I in kicking range? It's very fast and very slow at the same time. And I think like I was 100% instinct, you know, no thoughts. I didn't think, oh, he's doing this, I should do that. It was 100% what I trained.
Okay.
And thank God I was training already for a few years with very good coaches, very, very good coaches. And I think like the outcome was clear, you know, like how I improved in my striking thanks to GIF, how I improved in my MMA and getting a submission thanks to John and my jiu-jitsu coach. So it really was, like I said, like I was very ripe for this fight. I wasn't undertrained, I was overtrained in a good way. And, you know, it showed in the result.
And I'm gonna take you to another spin, to another side. As you become a professional fighter, and I know that the life of a professional fighter, well, with some exceptions, it's not long. Are you being helped in terms of making proper investments? What kind of investments are you making? Do you feel that you're making the right investments to protect your career further ahead?
I mean, right now, to be honest, the only investment I'm making is in myself because I'm going all in.
Yeah.
And, you know, to be honest, I'm not making much from fighting at the moment.
Yeah.
So everything I do have goes to training. If I'd make more money, I'd love to put some aside and some to this. But right now, I'm not putting anything into my pension because I'd rather be putting it into fighting and really seeing what I can get out of it. Okay. And I'm the investment right now. Again, at some point, you know, I'm gonna know if I made it or not.
Okay.
And that's fine. No is also an answer. Failing is also an outcome. Most people, that's the outcome. Like my teacher was right. Hundreds of thousands of people want to do it. Only one gets to be champion. So it's not one I'm going to accept easily, but it's also a possibility. And then I'd go back to training people. And if I do succeed, same thing. After I'm done with fighting, I want to train people. Like my first love, you know, is karate, and teaching was like in MMA. When you get good at the MMA, what do? You fight. In karate, what do? You teach, yes, usually. So I really enjoyed teaching people, helping them, you know, build their confidence. And you see how their confidence, because they got better in their kata or in sparring, starts going to other things in life. Suddenly they have more confidence, you know, in their whole life. So it feels like a great calling, you know, to help people. Okay. I got to help myself.
Okay, yes.
And then I'd love to help more people. I have students, you know, I have a good student of mine, a good friend. We're like brothers, you know, I trained him since he was 13 and now he's 22. And, you know, when he was 13, I was rough on him and made him do the same moves for hours. And he kind of hated me. But slowly we became, you know, real good friends. Now we're like brothers. Like I still train him when I'm in Israel. We hang out, we eat. Every time we train, we go get lunch after and talk. And we're still in touch on the phone all the time. So it's, you know, it's really great.
That's really good. Do you see many difference between the mindset in Israel and in Europe and in the US? What's the big changes that you see within people? The cultural, the ways to speak? What are the main differences that you see, at least in the means of martial arts and MMA? How do you see that?
You know, I think there is a big difference because at the end of the day, here we're competitors. Okay. So, you know, like I said, I really do love helping people. I love teaching people. I do it for money, but I would do it for free.
Okay.
You know, same with fighting. I do it for money, but I would do it for free. So I'm very lucky, you know.
Wow,
whatever I do, I would do for free.
That's really good.
But luckily I get paid. So here, you know, when you get in Israel, when you get somebody, let's say, who gets into training and you see they don't know much, oh, come here, let me help you out. Listen, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this good, keep this up. But in America, because it's a competitive thing, I don't have time to help you. I'm sorry. If you come to the gym and you come into sparring and you're not that good, you know, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not mean. I'm not evil, but I'm also not gonna waste time on helping you because I have to get better.
Wow.
If we train together for a long time, yeah, I can help you maybe before training, after training. I'll show you some things. If you ask me questions, I always answer. But when I'm training, it's my time to train. I ain't helping no one. I'm here to get better. If I can help someone on the way, okay. But I'm not going to take 5 minutes out of me training to help you. Not right now. Right now, I'm here to become a world champion. I need to be selfish. I'm sorry. I don't like being selfish, but I have to.
Okay. That's a very direct notion, correct? The differences between these two things. I'm Natan. Since now that we are in this situation, or even before that, what do you do as a person, as a fighter, when you get overwhelmed? Do you have a routine that allows you to break away from bad thoughts or too much confusion? What do you do? What is your tactic or routine to break from things that you don't like or that you don't want to be in?
You mean like being overworked?
Overworked, overwhelmed in the head, overwhelmed in the body, overwhelmed with emotions. Do you have any specific routine that you say, no, this is how, for example, I'll give you mine. I meditate. I have something, I meditate every day in the morning at 5:30 a.m. I do my workout at 6, but sometimes the day just gets completely messed up and I need to walk away, and I can put a couple of breathing exercises in there for 5, 10, 20 minutes. That's my routine. Do you have something similar, or probably don't get overwhelmed? But that's the idea. Is when you get overworked, overwhelmed, what do you do to stop that process and go back to normality?
Yeah, it happens. Not often, but I think maybe like just sometimes I will like take a session off.
Okay.
And be like, you know what? I'm done for the day. My body's tired. My mind is tired. I'm gonna hang out with my wife. Go watch a movie at the theater. We love doing
that's
that.
where the movies come in. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Watch a show, or maybe just talk. Maybe go to the park or something. Go to the lake. Just take a little bit of time off. But usually, I take a day off every week.
Okay.
And that's my day to relax. And then the week I'm good. Don't need to cancel anything. Sometimes midweek I might say, oh, you know what, tonight I'm not going to go to jiu-jitsu. I'm going to stay home and relax. Because I feel if I do this, it's going to make tomorrow worse. I want to make tomorrow good, so I'll skip one training to make 3 trainings good instead of killing myself tomorrow.
Oh, it's a relationship of 1 to 3. Okay, understood. And Nathan, if there is something strange or absurd that you really love to do, can you share it? Something strange, something that say, Natan the fighter would never do this, or it's something really strange. Is there something that you want to share?
I am a strange person, but what I like to do, it's strange. I don't know, a lot of strange things, I guess.
Okay.
People they see me and they just think I'm weird.
You have a mohawk, okay? How did the mohawk appear? Is that a decision? Is that you enjoyed something? How was that?
Just about 10 years ago, I was like, 18, 19. And I said, you know what, I can do it. And my mom can't say anything. And I did it, and my mom still said something. But I kept it sense.
Okay, okay. So you don't have any. So you were talking about you do a lot of strange things. Can you speak about one or two of them that you say that this is really strange and?
I don't know, watch anime,
Oh, do you watch
cartoons.
anime? Okay, okay.
Yeah, a little bit, not too much. Uh, Play video games,
What
learn
are you playing?
Japanese,
What I know
Witcher right now.
Okay, I know that. Do you like Sangoku?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, because so in my time of college, my college would stop to see Sangoku against Vegeta. You remember this fight?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you like Sangoku, you like anime. That's going in a nice path.
Yeah.
I have one final question, and then we are good, and I can say this. But more important, if you had, this is a question that I've seen in other blogs, but I think it's important. Um, if you had a gigantic billboard, like like one of these big Las Vegas things, that how would you say, speakingly, you could put a message to the world in your words. It could be a quote, it could be your words. What would you write on that gigantic billboard? Imagine millions of people seeing it, and it's your time to put there in there and stays for years.
I'd say, single-mindedness is all powerful.
Okay.
If you put your mind and all your resources towards one goal, you can have anything you want.
I mean, that's really powerful. And you are living it, aren't you, Nathan?
Yes.
You are living that. Okay. Is there? I will put in the notes all the links and things and people that we spoke about. But I also put your Facebook. You're very active on Instagram. That I think that helps a lot. People to know you've got a huge fan base, man. 30,000 or I don't know. It's a lot of people that are following you. Probably you are inspiring a lot of young kids to become fighters. So that's really cool. I do
I hope I
appreciate.
can inspire them to be better people and stay healthy. Fighters, I don't need to inspire anybody to be a fighter.
Okay, I really appreciate that because anyone can be a fighter, correct? But not everyone can be a fighter and a good person and a good citizen, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. But so Nathan, you are there inspiring people to become better persons. That's and one thing that I really appreciate from your writings is that from the thing that you put, you don't swear. And I'm reaching out to my students, and they've got you don't. Well, people swear a lot sometimes, but you don't need that to be the good fighter and the good person that you definitely seem to be. So that's really appreciated that you can put those things out there. And thank you very much for your time, Nathan.
Thank you very much for having me. I had a great time talking to you.
Nathan, thank you so much, sir. It's been a
Thank you, my
pleasure.
friend.
Speak soon.
Good day.